Dr. Jeremy Landry. Welcome to training number 5, the importance of a healthy gut for weight loss. This is the 5th and final training video in this 5-part video series. If you have not watched any of the other training videos, or maybe you've seen one or two, I encourage you to go back, watch them, specifically watch them in order. I shot these in a very specific sequence on purpose. But these 5 trainings, and you've heard me say this in the other 4 trainings if you've watched them, these are some of the simplest things that you can do right now to not only lose weight quickly, they're just really simple things to do, but to just improve overall health and wellness. If you're trying to decrease inflammation, get off some of the medications that you've been prescribed. By the way, always talk to your doctor before stopping a medication. Maybe you had a recent type 2 diabetes diagnosis and you're like, no, I do not want to be a type 2 diabetic. The good news is making some of these changes can get you towards those goals significantly faster. And that's why I've been so excited to do these trainings, because I've done these trainings for years with patients and all over Kansas City, and I've taught at seminars throughout the country, and they really do work quickly. Even if you implement these 1% every single day, just taking those baby steps of implementation. So gut health. Gut health is huge. I don't think people realize that most weight issues tend to be a poor gut issue at the end of the day. Most people don't realize that most chronic health issues tend to be a gut issue at the end of the day. We always try to relate it for other, factors and issues in our lives, but more times than not, our guts are unhealthy, and you don't have to have symptoms to necessarily have an unhealthy gut. A lot of times it can be asymptomatic. So that's why I want to talk about this. As always, quick disclaimer, I am not your regular doctor. My advice does not take the place of the advice of your doctor or any of the doctors that you're working with. I do encourage you to take everything you're learning in today's training and the previous trainings, run it by your healthcare provider, and if they give you the thumbs up, then by all means, please start implementing some of these recommendations. Your doctor might even learn some things from this as well, but always get the advice of your primary care physician before starting any of these recommendations. So what is the microbiome? This has been a big topic recently, and just in the past year, there's been some news stories on this. The past several years, there's been a lot of news stories talking about the microbiome. So I put together this quick couple of paragraphs, and then I'll talk a little bit more about this. So the gut microbiome is a complex community of microorganisms that live in our GI tract. It includes bacteria, viruses, fungi, and other microbes that play a crucial role in our overall health and well-being. These microbes help to digest food, produce vitamins, regulate the immune system, and protect against harmful pathogens. The composition of the gut microbiome can be affected by various factors such as diet, medication, stress, lifestyle choices, which in turn can influence our health in many different ways. So understanding the gut microbiome is an emerging area of research that has potential to revolutionize our approach to healthcare. And so what researchers are finding and doctors are finding, the more they focus on gut health with individuals, the healthier the patient. And it's just backed by a ton of research. But here's why the gut is so important. And I put this together as, the top 10 statistics on the gut microbiome. I think a lot of these are fun facts, and I think they're mind-boggling. So this first one, for example, the gut microbiome contains over 100 trillion microorganisms, which include bacteria, fungi, and viruses. So not 100 million, not 100 billion, 100 trillion different bacteria, fungi, and viruses. And then there's over 1,000 different species of bacteria that can be found in the gut. And it makes it unique to the individual. So what this means is that, kind of like a fingerprint, all fingerprints are different, every gut is different. And although there's a lot of the same bacteria and viruses, you have your own unique combination. And then if you take that 100 trillion microorganisms on average, it weighs about 4.7 pounds, which is a lot if you know what 5 pounds looks like. You take a 5-pound hand weight and pack all your gut bacteria together, almost 5 pounds. The gut microbiome plays a vital role in digesting food, synthesizing vitamins, maintaining a healthy immune system. A big takeaway with this one, there's a lot of people that go and buy a ton of supplements usually from the store, which I never recommend. I've talked about that in some of the other trainings. But they buy all these vitamins, minerals with either the purpose or non-intentional purpose of out supplementing an unhealthy lifestyle. So if the gut's not healthy, you're not going to break down these vitamins the way they're supposed to be broken down. And the vitamins you're getting from your actual food sources are not going to break down the way they're supposed to break down and help the body. And then number 5, gut dysbiosis, which is a big fancy word for an imbalance in the gut microbiome, has been associated with a range of diseases, including obesity, type 2 diabetes, and inflammatory bowel diseases. And to continue on, these last 5 studies have shown that the gut microbiome can influence brain function and behavior, with some researchers referring to it as the second brain. This is actually really, really important. I'm going to talk more about the second brain here on one of the next few slides. The gut microbiome can be influenced by a variety of factors, including diet, antibiotics, and environmental toxins. Breast milk contains prebiotics that help to nourish and support the growth of beneficial bacteria in a newborn's gut. So it's really, really important. Early on, baby's born, do everything you can to get the baby to develop a healthy gut. If you can't breastfeed, don't stress yourself out. My wife was not able to breastfeed. She took it really hard. She had a lot of pressure from friends and talking about all the health benefits. But something that really stuck with my wife is something the doctor said, and one of the nurses reinforced: happy mom, happy baby. Stress mom, stress baby. So if you can't produce breast milk, formula feeding is totally fine. Our kids turned out completely normal, happy, healthy. But yeah, if you're able to breastfeed, there's benefits to doing it. And the last couple, thank you for not falling asleep yet. Research suggests that probiotics, which are live microorganisms that are beneficial to the gut microbiome, may help to alleviate symptoms of certain conditions such as IBS. And then the last one, fecal transplants. This has been in the news a lot. And luckily, most of us don't need to take crap from somebody else. We take enough crap from other people as it is. But those who are on their deathbed or they are very, very sick, there's a lot of research showing how quickly a digestive system can improve by taking the healthy fecal matter of a donor and giving it to a patient in need. I have a buddy that travels the country talking on gut microbiome, just diving into like all the details of it. And this is one thing that he always spends a lot of time talking about are the fecal transplantations. All right, so the top 5 problems directly related to poor gut health. I think a lot of these go without saying, but I think a few of these will be new to you. So digestive issues. This one goes without saying. If you have a poor gut health, bloating, constipation, diarrhea, irritable bowel syndrome, they're to be expected. There's really no way around that. But the second one, a lot of people don't realize. I mentioned like chronic health issues, autoimmune disorders. Research has shown that poor gut health can be a contributing factor to autoimmune diseases such as rheumatoid arthritis and multiple sclerosis. You could also throw in, lupus and several other autoimmune diseases with that. Mental health problems, and I have a personal experience with this one. But the gut-brain axis is a communication network between the gut and the brain. Studies have suggested that poor gut health may be linked to mental health issues like anxiety and depression. A lot of the serotonin, dopamine produced in the body is produced in the digestive system. A little bit in the brain, a lot in the digestive system. And so what they're finding is if your gut is unhealthy, you're more prone to having anxiety and depression. And I experienced this firsthand when I lost my 30 pounds back in 2016. I got off my omeprazole for acid reflux within 7 weeks. Haven't had really a whole lot of acid reflux since, unless I have too many margaritas or I self-induce it. But I also had a history of anxiety, and I had been on an anxiety medication for about 4 years. And once I got the weight off, I got my gut healthy, I talked to my doctor, and she had recommended baby stepping off of the anxiety med. Took about 4 or 5 weeks, got off of it, and I have been very, very well ever since. I mean, anxiety is a normal part of life. There's no getting around it. But I have not had to take any anxiety medication for anxiety and nothing for depression either. So again, talk to your doctor, get the gut healthy, see what your doctor recommends. but there is a big correlation with anxiety, depression, and gut health. Skin conditions, things like acne, rosacea, eczema, may be associated with poor gut health, as the gut plays a major role in the regulation of inflammation and the immune response. And then lastly, obesity and metabolic disorders. A lack of diversity and an imbalance of gut microbes have been connected to obesity and metabolic disorders. And I think really that one goes without saying as well. We live in a culture of convenience, fast food, lack of sleep, lack of exercise, and it's just a big snowball that continues to feed itself, and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So what causes the destruction of the gut microbiome? And I just say the American lifestyle. To sum all of this up, the way that not all of us, but a lot of us as Americans, we just live our lifestyle. We rely a lot on antibiotics rather than getting healthy and getting the gut healthy. We get sick a lot and we go to the doctor and we take antibiotics, and it becomes sometimes a cycle that continues to build as well. And you're not just doing it once a year, you're doing it twice a year, 3 times a year. And those antibiotics are wiping out a lot of the good bacteria as well and the good viruses. Poor diet. We live on fast food. We live on convenience. I've talked about that in the other trainings. Chronic stress. Like just dealing with issues at work, toxic work environments, laying in bed at night and just worrying about those same thoughts like week after week after week. That chronic stress destroys the digestive system, and it really, really lowers the immune system. Acute stress is a whole other topic. Getting a deadline done for work, getting homework assignments done. Those are the things that motivate us. But the chronic stress, bad relationships, bad marriages, not getting counseling, those things really weigh on us. Lack of sleep. Most people don't get at least 7 hours of sleep every night. 7 to 8 hours is the sweet spot. Some people are lucky to get 5 or 6 hours. Infections, age definitely plays a role. Alcohol consumption. We love our alcohol in this country. I like my craft beer. Lack of activity, and then smoking, lots of chemicals, really hard on the digestive system. So what is the enteric nervous system? Most people have heard of the central nervous system, brain and spinal cord. Your brain is this big electrical generator. It creates all these electrical impulses, shoots them down the spinal cord, out the nerves to all the different parts of the body. In your digestive system, you have something called the enteric nervous system, and these are neurons that line the large intestine, small intestine, and it's called your second brain. And I mentioned that in a couple slides previous, talking about the second brain. So the enteric nervous system, or the ENS, is a complex network of neurons that resides within the walls of the GI tract. It is often referred to as the second brain because it can operate independently of the central nervous system. And this is something fun we learned in school. I guess not fun, but if your spinal cord is severed, you're paralyzed, yet your digestive system can still function and do the job that it's designed to do. And then the ENS plays a crucial role in regulating gut functions such as digestion, absorption, and elimination. It also communicates bidirectionally with the central nervous system. So your gut can influence your brain, again, anxiety, depression, but also your brain can influence the digestive system. So they can work independently of each other, but then they can also influence each other at the same time. So with all that said, what are the easiest things you can do to get your gut healthy? And I've got the 10 best steps listed out. I mean, these are the 10 best steps according to science right now. To kind of get ahead of myself, if you begin implementing really the things I've talked about in the first 4 trainings, it's going to take care of all of this. And to really boil this down, this first one right here will pretty much take care of just about everything by itself. So that first one says, eat a diet rich in whole foods, including fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins. If you can follow that 80-20 principle that was one of the trainings, 80% of the time focus on food that God created or food that was alive at one point. So if it walked on the ground, if it grew from the ground, if it swam in the ocean, flew in the sky, eating those types of things, you're going to create a really healthy gut environment. 20% of the time, you're going to have sugar, you're going to have processed carbs, white potatoes, white rice, fast food. You're gonna have date nights, enjoy yourself. Don't overdo it, but you gotta find that balance. If you can find that 80-20 balance in your lifestyle, you're going to drastically start to improve your gut health. But to go through these other 9, increase your fiber intake, if you're eating whole foods, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, you're gonna get plenty of fiber. And even if you don't feel like you're getting enough fiber, take a simple dietary fiber supplement. Do some psyllium husk fiber capsules. They also have fiber drinks that you can do. Stay hydrated. Water-wise, if you feel like it's so hard to get adequate water intake, the old rule of thumb is to drink 8-ounce glasses of water every day. So 64 ounces of water. If you want to do it the proper way, take your body weight, divide that in 2. So let's say you weigh 150 pounds. Half of that is 75. So shoot for 75 ounces of water a day. If you weigh 200 pounds, shoot for 100 ounces of water, so on, so forth. Number 4, limit your intake of processed and sugary foods. We just talked about that. Number 5, incorporate some probiotic-rich foods, yogurt, kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut. If you don't like any of those things, then just take a simple probiotic. You can buy those over the counter. Again, I'm very picky on where people get their vitamins, minerals from. If you want a good probiotic or a prebiotic supplement, make sure to reach out. Let me know in the comments down below. I can give you direction on that. Number 6, taking a probiotic. Number 7, manage stress through techniques such as meditation, exercise therapy. Number 8, avoid unnecessary antibiotics. Only take them when absolutely needed. If you have strep throat or whatever it may be, please go get an antibiotic. But they do wipe out a lot of the good bacteria, so you got to be cautious with them. Number 9, get regular exercise. We've talked about the 5 easiest types of exercise in one of the trainings. And then number 10, seek treatment for any GI issues. Even if you just have a little bit of acid reflux, start getting that under control right away. If it goes left unchecked, Barrett's esophagus, which is cancer of the esophagus, there's things that can develop out of simple GI issues. So we want to get those under control ASAP. So probiotics and prebiotics. And if you boil those other 10 things down, just taking a probiotic, prebiotic, a lot of them come together all in one. Prebiotics are the food for the healthy gut bacteria, and then probiotics are the healthy gut bacteria. So if you can start replenishing those healthy levels using a simple probiotic and prebiotic, it can eliminate a lot of the gut issues. And I love this quote, and I've done Hippocrates quotes before. So this guy, he's the father of modern medicine. He was alive roughly 400 years before the birth of Christ. But one thing that he said was all disease begins in the gut. So to think that long ago, this guy was hitting the nail on the head is just so stinking cool. So I flew through that purposely. I didn't want to bore you guys to death, but I just want you to have in the back of your mind, are these foods that I'm eating, are these beverages that I'm drinking, are they building up the good gut bacteria in my digestive system, or am I wiping out the good bacteria? And I know it's so much easier said than done to build a healthier gut, but at the end of the day, just getting in the exercise, upping your hydration intake, eating more of the foods that God created or foods that were alive at some point can really, really build a healthy gut significantly faster. I mentioned in training number 4, at the end of today's training, number 5, I was going to talk about a turnkey solution, special offer for you guys to where you can partner with myself, with my staff, with my business partner, and allow us to work with you to not only begin to implement the 5 things I've talked about in these trainings, but provide you with some more tools such as, whole food supplementation, whole food ingredients, meal replacement shakes that actually taste good, giving you some extra tools that you can implement from the comfort of your own home and help you start losing the weight significantly faster. What I've decided to do is tomorrow I'm going to have a whole separate video just dedicated to this special offer that I want to do for you guys. I don't want to fly through it at the end of this video. I'm excited about this, and just thinking about it, I want to do a whole separate video. It's not going to be very long, but I'm going to walk you guys through step by step what you can do partnering with us. Yes, take these 5 things, begin to implement them, but I want to walk through just step by step We're going to give you this for this. We're going to give you this for blood sugar. We're going to do this for meals. We're going to do, and just kind of spell out what we can do to help you. And to kind of summarize that, over the years, so back in 2016, we partnered with a company out of Salt Lake City, Utah, that produces organic whole food nutritional supplements for licensed doctors. They don't sell to the public. Amazing company. It's truthfully how I lost my 30 pounds. We've done, I don't know, several thousand of these programs now with patients. But there's a 6-week clinical protocol and a 12-week clinical protocol. And they're very, very easy to implement. In my opinion, I think they're the easiest nutritional weight loss program you can possibly do. I know there's a lot of other programs out there, but clinically, I've always felt like these are two of the best programs that you can do. Even if you're taking a lot of different medications or if you have sensitivities, I can't recall any patients that have had allergic reactions to any of the products that we've used. They're gluten-free. They don't have any soy. They're just clean. Everything's manufactured in an FDA inspected facility. All the ingredients are grown in Utah. And we've just been obsessed with these products over the years. But in 6 weeks, the average patient can expect to lose up to 30 pounds. We've seen more than that, 35, 40, but realistically up to 30 pounds. And then over the course of 12 weeks, being able to lose up to 50 pounds. The most we've seen in 12 weeks is 73 pounds, but to give you a realistic number, up to 50 pounds. So with all that said, stay tuned for the video tomorrow. I'm going to walk through all of that in detail and just kind of show you what that entails, and then show you how you can move forward with us and allow us to partner with you. So thanks for watching today's training video. Go back, watch the other 4 videos, and then turn on your notifications, and be sure to check out the video tomorrow where I go over the special offer with you guys. Talk to you soon.